ridiculous. Well, here's the thing.
Maybe. Sometimes.
Tell me about this. I want to know more.
Oh, yeah. No.
Holy cow.
We've had a lot of fun.
So we now have 2 teenagers in our house.
Oh, my.
No more tweens, no more little kids. It's all teens now.
Have fun with that.
I know.
That's a milestone.
I know.
Are they a day apart, Catherine, or are they what?
Yeah, 3 years, 1 day, and 3 minutes.
Wow, that's good organization on your part.
Yeah, how did you
just
that?
scheduled it in.
Yeah, no, I did not schedule it that way. It just happened that way. And
Wow.
yeah, and with the second one, he was actually due on the same day as my daughter's birthday. So the day before he was actually born. And I definitely had some labor pains on that day of her birthday, but they kind of went away. And then right after midnight, they started back up again. Like, okay, it's a new day. Let's do this. But it still took a long time, but here he is.
So overnight, has he turned surly and uncooperative? Or does it just taper in?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slow burn, because right now it's okay. But just you wait, as they say.
Yeah. We're going to be like those podcasts that just quote Hamilton things all the time.
Hamilton.
And Nicole will not even know. We will just wink at each other, Catherine and I, through the internet.
Yes. So yeah,
Well.
so he also for his birthday he got a 2-hour delay from school because it snowed.
Oh my!
My son's birthday, he had to shovel snow, so he'd probably be like to have been back at the age to be at school, so I didn't have to do that. Happy birthday, honey! It's too snowy to go out to dinner, but you can go shovel snow.
But you can shovel because your dad is injured.
That's right. Welcome to an adulthood. This is what you do for your birthday in your 20s. You stay home and shovel snow.
Yes.
But, so I saw the picture on Facebook of your daughter bringing pizzas in for her birthday. What did he do at school for his?
He didn't do anything, but he's going to have a party later. And, he didn't want to do anything. He didn't have that, an idea like that, like she did. So
that was very cute.
Yeah. That was
last year, didn't he have some sort of really fancy cake? What was it? The periodic table was his cake?
Oh, yeah.
Am I remembering correctly?
I forgot about that.
Does he have some fancy plans this time?
It's going to have an airplane on it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That is much kinder to Mom.
Oh, well, in any case, I am not doing this. It's from the grocery store.
Yes.
You just emailed them a picture.
Nice.
So, yes.
That's cool.
I forgot about the periodic table. That was good memory.
That was memorable.
Yeah.
That was memorable. One of those things like, oh, I'm so glad my child's not that creative.
Right. Well, once again, that was the creative decorating of the people at the grocery store, bakery.
Yes.
Where you can just email them any image, basically, and they'll
nice
figure it out.
Well, that's much better than I always wonder about the ones that have somebody's picture on it, and it's like you're cutting through somebody's face, and then you have a plate, piece of cake with somebody's chin on it. It just seems not appetizing to me.
Yeah.
I never got around to getting a cake for my son's birthday, and he was having his friends, just a couple of friends over. So at the very last minute, we're driving around to bakeries going, do you have carrot cake? Because that's his favorite. So the first place went to didn't have one. The second one did, and then I got a little white cake to go with it. So it was very uncoordinated. But I don't know. My daughter's is coming up. I'll have to plan ahead of time. Yes, it was very good, and we were eating cake for a week after that because I got too much. But
I love a carrot cake.
Yep.
Me too.
You do, Nicole? It has vegetables in it.
I know, it's hidden. It's the cream cheese frosting that does it for me.
That's true. If you have 1.5 inches of cream cheese frosting, nothing else really matters.
Covers everything.
Nothing else really matters. But, I have to say, give me cheesecake any day.
Cheesecake. Cheesecake. Yes, Can listeners hear you chomping on your cheesecake while we chat here?
I finished it very quickly before the podcast because my dog wanted to share in the cheesecake experience, so I had to get rid of it before we started the podcast.
The dog wouldn't even enjoy the delicious, rich flavor of it.
No.
They would just make a mess.
And it's a Reese's peanut butter cup cheesecake, so there's all this extra stuff in and around it. And it's from the Cheesecake Factory, and it's just like full of deliciousness.
As delicious as that sounds, I would be good for about 3 bites of that thing, and then I would be lying on the couch groaning. Yeah. You can't. I mean, like 3 or 4 bites at a time, and then I put it aside. You can just feel your blood vessels becoming sluggish.
Exactly. This is not something you eat in one sitting. No.
No.
Not
Eat with caution.
Yes.
But you can, pick at that thing every now and then. You just go take another bite or two, and
well, that's
somehow
kind of what I do. I put it back in the fridge, and it's on the plate still, and I just dive in every hour. So
when you feel your pulse getting back to a normal rate, then you just go.
I make a pit stop as I walk by the
fridge.
It's the gradual indulgence diet. We have Easter candy in the house now, which is unfortunate because my kids are not that into candy, but people give them candy relatives give them candy for Halloween and for Easter, and I eat it. So they leave it there. They're not, they've eaten maybe a little bit of chocolate, but my husband and I are mostly whittling away at it. Yeah. So there's a bag of jelly beans on the dining room table, and I just keep drifting out there. I'm just taking a couple. And then pretty soon I've had 20, and, I'm feeling pre-diabetic. So they're just solid sugar, right? There's nothing in a jelly bean besides sugar, pectin maybe or something. But these are the ones with the really, really thick coating on them that like feels like you can feel the cavities forming as you're chewing on it.
Nice and sticky.
And yet, I think I'm going to go get one right now. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
No, you have to introduce the podcast. You can't leave.
That's true. Hello and welcome to Parenting Roundabout, a weekly podcast about the things that parents are talking about, obsessing about, and complaining about right now. I'm Terry Morrow, and with me today are Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
Today on the podcast, we're going to talk about dogs. Again, well, usually they're talking about themselves on our podcast, but we're actually going to talk about them. We're going to give them their own topic.
On purpose.
On purpose, we're going to talk about dogs. And we're going to shout out some stuff we like on the Roundabout Roundup and do some shameless self-promotion. But first, are you taking care of yourself? How's your teeth, Nicole?
My teeth? Well, I have to go back tomorrow for the second root canal.
Oh, gosh.
So,
man.
And I was actually seriously debating postponing it.
You can say, I would love to have this dental work done, but I have a cheesecake. I gotta finish the cheesecake.
I know,
well, it's soft.
I would have, but my mouth started to really it started to hurt yesterday, so I do have to take care of it. I do have to take some time out and take care of myself.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what our topic is right now, where we're talking about taking care of ourselves, and if parenting has gotten in the way of that, or if you are using it as an excuse to get in the way of taking care of yourself. And I find I use parenting as an excuse for the most part these days.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad. I mean, my kids are older and they're not around the house as much, so it's really sort of hard to
shoot. See,
mine
still live at home, so I can still got to take my son places. He doesn't drive, so gosh.
Yeah.
It's so hard to plan.
See, I'm running out of opportunities. Like, I
You made your kids independent. This is where you went wrong.
That's the problem. Yes, they are quite independent. So I find that my list of excuses has dwindled. My list of reasonable, believable excuses has dwindled.
Well, surely podcasting can provide you with a few.
Yeah.
We'll help you out.
Can. Yeah, it can.
Well, you did put off your root canal to record the podcast the other day.
I did, and I've definitely put off exercising to record the podcast.
But not eating cheesecake. The cheesecake
Nope.
you brought with you.
That I
You
can
found
work
a way
in.
to make that happen.
Yeah. That I can work out. But
Yes.
I don't know. How about you guys? I mean, Catherine, you seem like you are pretty good at
This
making
family
time for
fitness.
yourself.
Tell us about how you take care of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at it, I would say. But that's especially because I have been freelancing for so long that I've been able to set my own schedule. And so sometimes I think that I'm actually using that now as an excuse not to, be a little more ambitious with my career because I'm like, well, I can't, how could I do all the things I do? Like, take walks and listen to podcasts and record podcasts. If I had a job in an office, wait a minute. So, yes, I mean, I'm pretty good about doing things like exercising and, making doctor's appointments and that sort of thing. But I do find that I use my need for flexibility in my life as possibly an excuse for other things. So it can go both ways, I guess.
See, I am completely capable of using freelancing as an excuse not to do anything that I don't want to do because I got work to do. How can I possibly? I've looked at my schedule. I've got so much due. I can't possibly be away from my desk for a couple of hours. How would I ever get everything done? So it used to be parenting, and now more and more it's work. And mostly it's just that I don't want to do it. But it is
sometimes
also...
it really is work.
I mean, I sit in the waiting room with my computer, and occasionally I sit in like the examining room with my computer working until the doctor comes in. But, and probably because I work that much, I really should go see a doctor. But I also find that quite often, when I do take the time to go take care of myself and see a doctor, it's unsatisfactory. I don't feel like it's like I say, okay, finally I got a problem I got to go talk to a doctor about. And then I go to the doctor and he doesn't have immediate answers. And what the heck? I've scheduled you in for a couple of hours of my valuable time to solve all my problems now. So it's,
Terry, just do the doctor visit online then.
Now I might. But I've had this thing sort of on and off for quite some time. And this is the sort of thing where on an intellectual level, I know that as a parent, it's important for me to be around. And so therefore I should take care of scary things because if I have all this time for my kids and then I drop dead, that's not going to be so good for them. But I've had this sort of like heart palpitation thing. If I take like a long walk uphill or I go upstairs or I have to stop and like put my head down. So I went to the doctor about that because I was concerned about it. And he said, okay, fine. And he sent me to get one of these stress tests where they put radiation in you, which freaked me out. And then the guy just said, oh, you seem fine. So now it's just stress. So, well, fine. I'll just move to an island somewhere and live a stress-free existence. It'll be great. So it's like I still feel concerned about that, but I've already been to the doctor about it. He already sent me to the specialist. The specialist said, So do I want to like take more time to go to see different doctors? I do not. The thought of doing that stresses me out.
You kind of want to figure out where it's coming from. I mean,
well, I do, but I mean, the thing is, truly, it could be stress. It could be lack of sleep. It could be any number of things that I'm really not prepared to do anything about. Or it could be a serious health condition. It could be too much cheesecake. It could be a lot of things.
But if it were something super serious, wouldn't they have found that?
I would like to think so. I have my doubts about this. And this is another reason, like, you make the time to go to the doctor, and then if you don't like the doctor, do you, like, then go around taking time finding other doctors to go to? Because I went, both for some reason, within the space of a year, both my husband and I needed to have this nuclear stress test. And I went, and the guy said, call me and I'll tell you the results. And so I, after a week or so, I hadn't heard from him. I called him, and he said, I didn't find anything. My husband took it, and he was made a follow-up appointment to come in and talk to the doctor as a follow-up to be told we didn't find anything.
The exact same
So I'm
thing.
like, what, do women just have to make a phone call and get the kiss off, and men get an appointment? I was a little offended. There was a male doctor, so the whole thing just left me feeling like, you know what? I'm just going to take care of myself. I don't have time for this health stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, you know what you're doing to the, health OCD in me.
Yes, I know. You're going to have 50 things it could be by tomorrow.
I'm going to have heart palpitations.
She is going to be Googling like crazy.
I already am. What are you
I
talking
too
about?
have Googled,
I'm on
Nicole, and it's completely possible that it could be stress or lack of sleep would cause these symptoms and other changes that women deal with. So I just got to assume it's that. But so I have not, I mean, I don't know that I was ever a really sincere and persistent goer to the doctor. But
Goer to the doctor.
But I'm definitely way less since I've been a parent, and way less since I've been a lazy old lady, and way less since I've had a lot of freelance work to do.
And
So-
you know what, for me, is like making the phone call to make the appointment is probably the biggest hurdle.
Yeah.
Like I have to write on my calendar, make appointment to get a new battery for the car, make an appointment, make the phone call to set up grooming for the dog. Like the dog's toenails are like
I know.
6 inches long.
Yeah.
But it's like, I have to make an appointment. And the groomer, I can actually text her, so it's not even that big of a deal. But, it's like the actual starting the process is the hardest part. Like once it's on the calendar, then I'll do it, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but see, I make lists of things I need to do. That's a very good. It's true that writing it down makes it real. However, I'll say list 10 things, and if I get 5 or 6 things done a day, that's a good day. But those same things kind of keep floating to the bottom. It's like the emails that you never quite finish up with. They just hang there forever because you never quite get to them. That's where the doctor's appointments are. They're like 9 and 10.
Oh, yeah, not me.
No, you can be healthy for all of us, Nicole.
It's that just has to be a priority. I mean,
Well, I regret not making time for a flu shot this season because I did have the flu and it stunk. So that will motivate me for next year.
I never get the flu shots. This is the first time I've had the flu in a long time. I like living on the edge, man.
You do. You're stressing me out.
See, in the back of my head is always, well, if I got sick, then I'd have time to lay around and watch all the TV shows on my DVR. But of course, when you're sick, you don't feel like doing that.
You don't enjoy it. I know.
It's so unfair.
It is.
I finally have some
think
time.
that a lot. Like, it might be kind of nice to like just feel crummy and do nothing but lay around. But the time when I had the flu, it was
Nicole's going to need a lot of cheesecake when we're done with this discussion.
I know.
In a dark room.
Oh,
You should be our health concierge, Nicole. We'll we'll have
that's a
you
good
deal with all our
idea.
stuff.
I'll be your reminder. Catherine, it's time for your appointment.
And now that we've got the thing where you don't have to go to the doctor's office, you could just do it on a screen. We should be able to take it that next step and say somebody can use the screen for you. So Nicole could call up the thing and say, my friend is having these symptoms.
That'd be me. I'll do that because that'll make me feel better. I feel
What
like
do you think
you're
she
actually
should
doing
do?
something.
She had a clear nuclear stress test. But I feel like that freaked me out. I didn't like doing that. That's one of the things that made me think I should have left this at the bottom of the list for longer. Because I felt like, was I suddenly going to be able to swing between buildings with is that like a radioactive spider? What made Peter Parker Spider-Man? It's like, you're injecting this stuff into me? This doesn't seem right. But yeah, I have the time bomb tooth also. I've stopped going to the dentist because the dentist is going to yell at me. So now I'm not.
So you just avoid it.
Our insurance changed. So the dentist I was going to is no longer on our insurance. So this is giving me an excuse to say, gotta find a new dentist. It's number 10 on the list to do that. I'll do it. Gonna do it. So,
Oh, boy.
one day you will talk to me and I will be screaming in pain for my bad tooth, but it hasn't hurt in like 5 years.
It's not good, Terry.
It's not good. It's not good. But parenting, you know, I got parenting. You never know when I have to take somebody somewhere.
Like the doctor.
Got like yeah. Bad thing is that I've stopped. My daughter is really, really good at making herself appointments for stuff. She's completely taken that over. My son, not so much. And if I don't do it, it just doesn't get done. So when I'm playing hooky from things, he is as well, and that's not good. So I got to train him to make his own appointments.
Right.
But
my kids will sometimes nag me like, I haven't been to the doctor in a while, or I haven't, I need new glasses or whatever it is. So
glass. We haven't gotten. Gosh, I'm confessing to all this bad behavior. We haven't gotten our eyes checked in a long time either, and I'm like having to make the print on the computer bigger and bigger and bigger. So probably I need to do that too. That's number 11. I'll get to it.
We're helping you make your list.
Yeah, that will work. But oh well.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that when your kids are very little, it's definitely easy to put all this stuff off, but we've continued to find ways to do it even when our kids are
of course, when your kids are little,
and
you have
more independent.
Yeah, the joy of taking them to the doctor is like enough to turn you off it forever. Yeah. That was not fun.
Yeah.
I hated doing that. I sort of liked it because I felt like I would get answers to things, but just the waiting and all the stuff that went with it. So, I don't know.
While they like chew on things in the waiting room.
Yeah, and use up every bit of patience they have so that by the time the doctor's there, they're completely done.
Now it's been
ready to go home.
45 minutes and they're about to lose their minds. Yes.
Yeah, and me too.
Yes.
So, yeah, that seems like the place you want to use the computer version. Here's an iPad, kid. Talk to the doctor. Then they'd probably do really well.
Right. Or at least, here, just look at this weird rash or whatever. Look at this.
Oh, man.
Look at this thing.
That would be nice. I wonder if they do that for kids.
Have you seen the TV commercial where it's the parents changing the baby's diaper and they're like, whoa, what's going on? And they do the video chat. Right? They do the video call with the doctor, but first the dad falls and brings down an entire bookshelf.
That would be me.
Well, should we move on to taking care of and taking our dogs places?
Yeah, the dog definitely would like me to know that I am putting off her welfare, and I should stop that. But fortunately, she can't actually talk, so. Sorry, I got lots of work. You're number 12 on the list.
Yeah.
I'll get to you.
Well, for our speed round today, there is a new Wes Anderson movie out that's called Isle of Dogs, and was it at the premiere there were actual dogs present, and the actors started talking about how you should be able to always bring your dog to a movie theater? Is that what happened?
Yes, I believe that was it, that they thought that there should be, movie theaters should arrange for dog showings for this movie.
Dog screenings. So... And on a related note, on my son's hockey team this past season, one of the families had this extremely tiny Chihuahua, and they would bring her to all the games or most of the games, and especially the away games, and they would just stick her in their jacket and bring her into the ice rink because the dog weighed like 2 pounds, like it was the tiniest dog.
Right.
But anyway, so with your current dogs, do you take them places? Do you ever take them places with you? My two, no way. I mean, they're pretty small, but when they're together, especially, they are a nightmare in public. So, yeah, no, I would not take them to a movie theater for sure. And one of mine gets car sick anyway. So you definitely don't want to take him anywhere.
No. Oh, man. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast this week. I think it was Selma Blair was on Kevin Pollak's chat show. And all through the interview, she kept mentioning she had her little dog with her. She had a little lap dog. She was talking about the dog, and this little dog was on her lap through the entire interview. At one point, it jumped down and was maybe going to go pee on the floor somewhere, and she grabbed it and made it not do that. But, just never made a peep. And I'm thinking,
Wow.
there is no way. Especially my current dog is excitable. And she barks at a great many things. And would certainly, if there were another animal anywhere nearby, would be just going out of her mind. But if there was like a car within a square block of where we were, she would also, be barking and pulling at me. So there's no possible way. We barely can take her for a walk. It's getting, that's hard enough. We've had past dogs that probably we could do that with. I don't know about a movie theater, but although, I think they would have just laid down on the floor and fallen asleep. And then
think of all
gotten
the
up and been covered
crumbs.
with popcorn and jujubes.
I know. Think of all the stuff they could
that would
lick
have been
off
gross.
the floor.
But that's true. That is a good point. But we used to take our dogs to, when my son was playing baseball, we would sometimes take the dog, and they would just lay down and enjoy being petted and not make a fuss. But our current dog, there is no way. Yeah, she's not
going to happen.
She's a sweetheart, but she's excitable, and I would not put her through that or me through that.
Exactly.
Or anybody within barking distance through that. Mm-hmm. How about you, Nicole? Your dogs seem quiet and well-mannered.
Not in a million years. No, that dog is not. No, she is not. I don't know. She's not trip-worthy. She's just. She gets car sick, so that's a big issue.
Yeah.
And we got her as an adult, so she already had these habits ingrained in her.
Yeah. Our case
and
too.
She's so excitable and big, and if we don't pay attention to her, she barks at us. I mean, she would just be, and I just couldn't even imagine taking her to a theater. She would be on your lap. She was not happy to sit on the floor. She would be right up on your lap, and then, of course, into the food, and it would just be a nightmare. She'd probably pee. Yeah. She loves to pee everywhere she goes.
She
on
loves
whatever.
to pee. It's like her favorite hobby. Peeing inappropriately.
We can't even if we take her for a walk around the block, she stops and pees every 30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Well, she has to let everybody know she's been
right.
But then, she'll also, go number 2 as well. Yes. So
I think your dog and my dog are like the same dog, Nicole. It sounds, my girl has all those same habits.
Oh, terrible. It's such and my mom and my dad are constantly getting at me like, why don't you exercise your dog more? Why don't you take her for walks? I'm like, I've tried. It doesn't work. So
we have to we've taken the dog for a walk around the high school next to us, and every now and then you go around a corner and you see another person with a dog coming your way, and then we turn around and
quick U-turn. Yep.
Yes, quick U-turn. Go hide behind something until it's over. Otherwise, people think we have a vicious animal on our hands because she'll bark and pull, and it's not fun.
No, our other dog, we could take him, he was good for car rides, and he was pretty good, for walks for the most part. But yeah, it's just, they're so high energy. So when they get excited, it's just crazy. I mean, they're jumping everywhere, and they're not little. Little dogs.
Yeah. And mine are little, but they're still, they're not 2 pounds little, that's for sure.
Yeah. But no, I
and if with ours, if you take them one at a time, they're, much easier to deal with. But then whoever's left behind is panicking, absolutely losing their mind about what happened to the other one.
When did you stop loving me?
Right.
Aw.
But we love our dogs, folks. Don't write us nasty comments.
That's
we love
right.
them. We just don't want to take them
love
anywhere.
We just know what's best for them and for us.
Yes. Oh,
But,
well.
yeah.
And for everyone around us.
For everybody else.
That's right.
But mostly for us.
You would thank us if you knew.
You would.
Oh, yeah.
So that's our speed round, and you can hear a new one every Wednesday through Friday.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying this episode of Parenting Roundabout. We're not one of those podcasts that's trying to sell you websites or mattresses or meal kits. I mean, we totally would, but no one's asked us yet.
There is, however, something you can do that costs you nothing, but will put a little change in our pockets. Listen to our podcast on the Radio Public app. Download the app to your iPhone or Android device and listen to Parenting Roundabout there, and we'll get paid for each listen. Plus a little more if you listen a lot.
We think you'll enjoy listening to all your podcasts on this app, but if you could at least listen to Parenting Roundabout there, we'd be very grateful. Now, back to the episode. And now we're going to bring you some of the things we've read or seen or used recently that we want to shout out and share with you. This week or maybe last week, over the last few weeks, I have noticed when going onto my Apple Music account on my phone or on my computer, that suddenly there is something that says Terry Morrow's Station, music radio. And it's got my picture that I have as my ID picture for Apple Music, which is a sort of silly thing of just my glasses and forehead and nose. So there's this picture staring at me from the middle of my Apple Music page, Terry Morrow's Station. She's watching you. But anyway, it seems to be just sort of a stream of music. It finds, I guess it's got an algorithm on me, and it finds things in my library and elsewhere that it thinks I might want to listen to. And it's actually pretty good. I've been delighted by the things that it's been serving up to me, which means that it's got my number, which is a little scary. So I very much, I listened to it all one day and I really enjoyed it. Then it started repeating things and I'm like, I have so many options. Can't you play another song from that same album? So that becomes a little less satisfactory, but you can skip over things if you've heard it 3 or 4 times. And it's really sort of a nice for when I don't want to think about what do I want to listen to, what album can I look for, what playlist do I want to try, if I just want to have music on while I do some work or something else. It's nice to go to that radio station and just have it serve tunes to me that pretty good chance I'm going to want to listen to. So if you also use Apple Music and if you've seen that and you've not tried it out yet, give it a try. Let me know if yours has your number to the degree that mine has mine. So Catherine, what do you have for this week?
Well, also music related. It's been a week now since it aired, but NBC on Easter Sunday did a live version of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes, it
and
did.
I think they called it like a concert. I mean, it was pretty.
But
it had costumes and sets, and it was pretty.
It had all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, and Terry, you didn't even stay till the end when there was like the chainmail glittery outfit that Judas was wearing.
I read a review and they mentioned that number, so I went on YouTube to see if there was a video of that, and there was, and I watched it and I had exactly the same feeling I had in the opening number, which was, there's too much stuff going on here. I can't handle this.
I can't handle it. Well, anyway, I did enjoy it.
I am an old woman.
And Terry didn't love it, so we're not going to talk about it on round 2, so we're talking about it right now.
Plus, it will also,
it's been a while.
Bigger reason is that it will have been like a week and a half by then, and people will have forgotten about it. But
if you missed it, but you're curious, it is streaming on nbc.com. So I did enjoy it. So,
do you have any experience with that from your youth? Were you in any groups that did that or saw that or?
I used to listen to the soundtrack, and I have the piano music for it.
Okay. So a lot of people on my Twitter feed seem to have an extensive knowledge of it from seeing it, earlier productions of it, and be really thrilled and excited to see this version of it. And possibly I would have been more excited if I had been more. I feel like when I was in high school, we did songs from it, or we produced. I was like in a high school music group called the God Squad, and I think that we did that stuff, but I have no memory of it. So those brain cells are gone for some reason. And so it was just, didn't hit me. But I think it seemed, based on Twitter and Facebook feeds, many people think I'm full of it and thought it was really, really great. So
I liked it.
Did you watch it at all, Nicole?
Well, it's a musical.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And there's your answer.
That's your answer.
I keep forgetting.
No, I'm sorry. No.
Okay, enough said. What
I feel like I'm like some degenerate that is like so uncultured. And
well, we listened to another podcast called the West Wing Weekly Podcast, Nicole, and one of the co-hosts of that is adamantly anti-musical.
Yes.
So it's a familiar dynamic. So we are just like Joshua Molina and Hershey Herway.
That's right.
There you go. Because
That's
I
us.
am not a musical kind of person. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. If you want to talk about stand-up
people
comedians,
in various grungy outfits gyrating all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot to look at. If you didn't like the music, you could have stayed for the, hysteria. So...
yeah, no, the only theatrics I like come from rock bands on a stage.
Well, this was kind of like
that. John Legend and Sarah Bareilles.
Alice Cooper.
No.
Well, Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
I gotta find that video on YouTube. I'll check that out.
I mean,
But,
There just can't be a
I wish it
storyline
will.
to it.
I wish it well. I'm glad it did well. That's great. Just not
I
everything is for
I want to
everybody.
be entertained. I don't want to have to think about what's going on.
Oh, you didn't
I
have
just
to
wanna-
think on this if you didn't
It's
want
an
to.
escape.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. Have I mentioned that? There was a lot going on. You could just completely ignore the music, and there would be plenty. So,
Yeah. No, can't say I watched it. So.
all right. Well, what are you sharing this week then?
Well, it's actually an app that my son told me about, and I'm giving it a try, and so is my daughter. It's called Habitica. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Okay, I'm looking it up
so
in the
it's habit,
App Store.
It's
Even
the
as
word
you
habit, and then ICA.
Okay.
would it prompt us to make doctor's appointments?
It could, because what it does, it's a game that encourages you to keep healthy habits.
Hmm.
So you list off these habits that you want to work towards, acquiring. And as you complete these daily tasks or these habits that you want to acquire, you earn points and you level up and you get healthy and then you earn things.
Sounds
it's
like
a
a
whole
trick.
game.
It's like my water drinking one that I used to do, where you had a little virtual
Yeah.
plant and you had to say that you
Yeah.
drank water in order to keep your plant alive.
Yeah.
Would this take
Yeah,
away
it's
from
a
my
whole-
sandbox time?
It's a whole thing. It's a whole,
Looks interesting.
So actually, my habits for today, I've only checked off one. I've got 3 more to go.
You gotta make better habits. You gotta be ones that are easy. Eat cheesecake could be a habit that
Okay,
you want to pursue.
but one of them is 5 minutes of quiet breathing.
You go.
I'm trying to incorporate
Haven't done it yet, huh?
mindfulness. No,
The shower is a good place to do that.
that is true.
Multitask
That
in
is
your
true.
shower by just mindfully breathing.
As
there
you're
anyway. What are you
scrubbing
gonna
your
do?
Hair.
When people complain you've been in the shower so too long, you could say, "I've been mindfully breathing."
Yes, I am setting my intention to have a good day and do good things.
Right.
So I'm just starting to use
Interesting.
it, and we'll see what happens.
So
We have to check that out.
You pick what habits you want to kind of
Yes.
keep track of.
Off their list, or do you make them up yourself?
Well, you can either or. I mean, you can it's there, or you can make them up yourself, and then you just kind of check it off as you go through your day, and you earn these points. And if you don't, then you lose points. It's
Sounds
I just
stressful.
started it like yesterday, so I honestly, But my son swears by it. He says that it's actually really kind of, changed his life for the better, because he says it certainly changed his relationship with his girlfriend for the better.
Oh, yeah.
He's washing the dishes and he's changing the cat litter. And so, yeah, he's quite enthralled with the whole thing. So we will see. And you can also join a community of other habit-forming people.
Habit-forming people.
So look me up. We can form good habits together.
It's a gamified task manager, it says.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Check that out.
And Terry,
yes?
One of your habits should be make doctor's appointments on a regular basis.
Well, I'll be losing points. I want to set ones I can do.
Oh, come on. We have to grow. Personal development.
If you're making it competitive, I got to have an edge. Come on.
You know what? Catherine, get this. And this is this goes to show how, serious I'm about it. One of my habits is 20 minutes of cardio a day.
All right.
So,
you want to convince me? Make one of your habits eat vegetables.
Silence.
If it can get you to do that, it's a pretty impressive piece of work. Carrot cake doesn't count.
Okay. I'll have to work on that. I'll do that if you make a doctor's appointment.
Forget it then. Deal's off.
Well, moving on.
Yes.
We'll check back on how our habits are forming next week. Now for our final segment today, we're going to do a little shameless self-promotion and direct you to some of the things on our sites that we think you should take a look at. Carrie, do tell.
Well, yeah, we do a lot of promoting of the podcast on Twitter and Facebook, and often we suggest that perhaps you'd like to make a comment on Facebook to respond to some of our topics, or to tweet at us on Twitter, and there are some people who have, and we very much appreciate that. But I want to make it even easier. I'm going to play around in the next week or two with some of the Twitter poll capability, and Facebook has a poll also, and I'm going to start putting polls up on some of our speed round topics, and maybe main topics also, so that you can just very quickly, with a tap of a box, express your opinion on some of the things we do. Now, I put one up today, and the last I looked, there were 3 votes, and all of them were from me, from my various different accounts. So that makes me feel bad. So if y'all want to just give me a little vote, come on. You don't have to go to iTunes and give us stars. You don't have to. Well, you should.
Yeah, do that.
But this is the easiest possible interaction I can think of. So if you're out there, if anybody is listening to this podcast but us, answer a poll. Look for us on Twitter at Roundabout Chat. Look for us on Facebook, on our Facebook page, and express an opinion, will you please?
Sounds good. Catherine, how about you?
On a completely different note, I have a piece in highlights, and it is how to boost little kids' interest in STEM topics: science, technology, engineering, and math. That's what it stands for, right? So there was a study that found that kids do better or get more engaged and interested when they work in groups. So this is a little piece about that over at Highlands.
That is true. And I just want to mention that I did a Facebook Live chat with Charmaine Tainer from Visions and Voices Together. That's her Facebook page. And we talked about, just the book that is supposed to be coming out. It's supposed to come out Monday, but
any day.
They made a mistake on the 0, and now it's coming out on the 20th. So we talked about that and various other things related to educating students with intellectual disabilities. So you can check that out on her Facebook page. It's an hour-long chat, and I show slides and answer audience questions, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How was it doing a Facebook Live?
Oh, it's
Like,
fun.
had you done that before?
Yeah, I did it last year with her, and it's fun because people, well, much like a webinar, people are writing in and commenting and asking questions, but yeah, I like them.
Oh.
I would much rather do that than like an actual stand-up kind of presentation, but...
Because you can stay home.
Exactly. And eat my cheesecake.
Yeah. Just out of sight on the desk there is your cheesecake.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Parenting Roundabout. We hope you enjoyed it and that you'll join us every week. You can listen to podcast episodes on Radio Public or download them from Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe so that you get all of our podcasts and mini podcasts.
You can also follow us on Twitter, where I am at Nicole Erdix, Catherine is at C. Haleko, and Terry is at Momitude. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter at Roundabout Chat and look for us on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, YouTube, and Instagram too.
Best of all, stop by our podcast page at parentingroundabout.com and read recaps, find links on everything we've mentioned, and talk back in the comments. Thanks to John Morin at johnjmorin.com for providing our in and out music. And I wish everyone a great week.